Before this video ends, you may feel the exact second when overthinking stops looking like intelligence and starts looking like a cage you have been living in for too long. Listen closely. This matters. The most dangerous part of overthinking is not the noise. It is how normal that noise begins to feel. It speaks in your own voice. It sounds careful. It sounds responsible. It sounds like protection. Think again. Check again. Prepare for every outcome. Replay that moment one more time. But if this habit is protecting you, why are you drained? Why is your chest tight? Why do you lose sleep over days that have not even arrived? Why do you carry old conversations like stones in your pocket while the people in them have already kept walking? Stay with me because the next few minutes are not about forcing your mind to shut down. They are about taking your seat back. Your thoughts are not your ruler. They are not your identity. They are passing guests, and some of them have stayed far too long. Tonight, we ask them to leave. Not with panic, not with war, with clarity, with discipline, with presence. And if you keep listening, you will not just hear ideas, you will feel a shift, a real one. The kind that begins quietly, then changes how you breathe, how you choose, how you sleep, how you live. Because the prison was never outside you. It was the story repeating inside you. And stories can be rewritten. A person can sit in a tiny room and still be free, while another stands under an open sky and feels trapped by one sentence repeating inside the head. What if I fail? What if they leave? What if I am not enough? What if tomorrow gets worse? That is where overthinking builds its throne. People say overthinking means thinking too much. Not exactly. Overthinking is thinking without direction. It is movement with no arrival. It is a horse running in circles until it falls, then calling the circle progress. Hear this clearly. Beautiful words alone will not save you. A sentence can sound deep and still leave you weak. So do not listen like someone collecting quotes. Listen like someone tired of drinking from the same poisoned cup every morning. Because overthinking rarely enters like a visible enemy. It comes dressed as help. It says, "Let me protect you. Let me prepare you. Let me review every detail so you do not get hurt." And because it sounds smart, you trust it. But that careful voice slowly becomes a cruel master. It does not prepare you for life. It keeps you from living it. Look at your own body when the spiral begins. Do your shoulders relax? Does your breath deepen? Does courage rise? Does the path become clear? Or does your jaw lock, your stomach twist, your sleep vanish, your heartbeat grow louder in the dark? That is not wisdom. That is mental noise wearing serious clothes. Not every thought deserves your attention. Some thoughts are visitors, some are thieves. Some only come to steal the strength you need for the next honest step. And the person who bows to every thought will live bent over, even when standing tall. So the first shift is simple, but do not mistake simple for weak. Return to the body before trying to fix the mind. This one move changes more than people expect. Overthinking lives in imagined time. It feeds on yesterday and tomorrow. But the body lives only here. The body cannot breathe next week. The body cannot stand in last month. The body lives in this breath, this floor, this room, this moment. When the storm rises, do not start with, "Why am I like this?" That question can become another trap. Start somewhere more solid. Where are my feet? What is my breath doing? What do my hands feel right now? If your mind attacks you late at night, do not stay flat on the bed like a prisoner while your thoughts sharpen themselves in the dark. Sit up. Put both feet on the floor. Straighten your back. Breathe slowly through the nose. Hold for a short moment. Then let the exhale go longer than the inhale. Again, again, again. Not once, not twice. Keep going until your body understands there is no tiger in the room. The mind can imagine danger without limit. The body needs proof of safety. Then name what is real. Quietly, I am sitting. I am breathing. My feet are on the ground. There is air in my lungs. This is a thought, not an order. Small words, big power. Do not underestimate them. One steady breath can cut through a chain that would have dragged you for hours. One grounded moment can stop a whole night from being stolen. This is not dramatic work, it is disciplined work. And disciplined work saves lives in quiet ways. Many people say they want peace, but they treat the body like an abandoned place. They sleep badly, eat in a rush, stare at screens until midnight, move only when forced, and then wonder why the mind feels wild. A tense body keeps sending danger signals upward. If your shoulders stay lifted all day like you are waiting for a blow, your mind starts searching for an enemy. If your jaw stays tight, your thoughts begin to bite. If your chest stays shallow, your inner world starts preparing for attack. So train the body to speak a different message. Walk every day, not only as exercise, but as a return. Feel the heel meet the ground. Feel your weight shift. Notice the colors in front of you instead of the fears inside you. The mind will say we need to solve the problem now. Answer it gently. First we walk. The mind will say this is urgent. Tell it a confused person creates urgent mistakes. Then keep walking. This is not running away. This is sharpening the tool before using it. A dull blade works harder and cuts worse. A calmer body gives you a clearer mind. Drink water slowly. Stretch in the morning. Unclench your hands. Lower your shoulders. Sleep like it matters, because it does. Eat without letting panic sit at the table with you. The body is not separate from the mind. They are in constant conversation. When you care for one, you calm the other. And if you think this sounds too basic, stay with me, because basic things repeated daily can do what dramatic breakthroughs never do. They build stability. They build trust. They remind the nervous system that life is happening now, not inside the movie playing in your head. The next shift is powerful because it cuts through the fog. Separate the real problem from the imagination around the problem. Most suffering is not caused by the event itself. It is caused by the story you build around the event. Someone replies late, and in seconds the mind writes an entire tragedy. Rejection, betrayal, humiliation, abandonment. One silence becomes a whole disaster. But what is the fact? The fact is simple. A message has not been answered yet. That is all. The rest is smoke. This is why you must become strict with facts, not cruel with yourself, just strict with facts. Ask, what do I actually know? Then ask, what am I adding? Facts are solid. Assumptions are fog. You can stand on stone. You cannot stand on fog. Overthinking loves fog because in fog, every shadow looks dangerous. So bring in light. Write the situation in one clean sentence with no drama. I made a mistake in the meeting. I do not know the outcome yet. This person has not replied. I have a bill to pay. I feel afraid. Clean sentence, clear ground. Then ask the next question. Is there an action available now? If yes, take the smallest honest action. If no, stop feeding the fire. This is where many people lose their strength. They confuse worry with action, but worry is not action. Worry is motion without progress. It is like sitting in a car, pressing the horn, and telling yourself you traveled. Action changes something. Worry repeats something. Learn that difference, and half the trap weakens. Think when thinking is useful. Plan when planning helps. Reflect when reflection teaches. But do not chew the same fear until it tastes like truth. That is not responsibility. That is self-punishment pretending to be maturity. Once you see the difference between facts and drama, the next move is to teach the mind boundaries. An untrained mind thinks it can speak whenever it wants. During meals, during work, during rest, during prayer, during love, at midnight, at dawn, in the middle of a good moment. It interrupts everything, then demands full attention. That is why you need a worry window. Yes, a time boundary, 15 minutes, same time each day if you can. During that time, write your worries down. Do not only think them, write them. On paper, the mind becomes visible. In silence, it slips and multiplies. Write the fear. Write the possible action. Write what is outside your control. Write what must be accepted for now. Then, when the time is over, close the notebook, stand up, return to your life, and when the same worry tries to come back later, answer it with discipline. Not now. I will meet you at the appointed time. At first, the mind will resist. Of course it will. It will laugh and say, "Who are you to tell me when to speak?" You answer with repetition. Discipline does not become real because the mind agrees. It becomes real because you repeat it long enough. And when thoughts come outside the window, do not wrestle them. Fighting gives them status. Notice them. Thank you, fear. I will see you later. Then return to the dish in your hands, the page in front of you, the person talking to you, the road beneath your feet. This return is the practice. Peace is not never leaving the present. Peace is becoming skilled at coming back. That sentence alone can change your life if you stop admiring it and start using it. Listen carefully now, because the next shift is where many people finally break the spell. Overthinking survives when action is delayed. That is one of its favorite hiding places. The longer you stand still, the bigger fear becomes. The longer you wait at the edge, the colder the water feels in your imagination. But the one who steps forward learns something the overthinking mind never wants you to discover. Reality is often lighter than the story, so act before the mind finishes building excuses, not reckless action, clean action. If you are overthinking a message, write the respectful message and send it. If you are overthinking a task, set a timer for 10 minutes and begin badly. Yes, badly. Bad beginnings often save people from perfect paralysis. If you are overthinking an apology, say the first honest sentence. If you are overthinking your future, take one step that makes tomorrow slightly less heavy. Fill out the form, make the call, clean the desk, open the document, walk into the room. Courage is not always a feeling before action. Often it is the action that teaches the feeling to arrive later. The mind says, "What if it goes wrong?" You answer, "Then I will learn from real information, not imagined failure." The mind says, "What if they judge me?" You answer, "People judge anyway, and life keeps moving." The mind says, "What if I am not ready?" You answer, "Readiness is built by entering, not by waiting at the door forever." Try this with small decisions too. Give yourself 3 slow breaths, then choose what to wear, what to eat, which task to start, whether to make the call now. 3 breaths, then move. This trains the mind to stop turning tiny doors into mountains. Save your deepest strength for what truly matters. Do not waste your courage on choosing between 10 small options for an hour. Now we come to a deeper shift, and this one changes the way you speak to yourself. Stop making your thoughts your identity. Be careful with the words "after I am." If you keep saying "I am an overthinker," you are not just naming a habit. You are building a home for it. You are carving its name above the doorway and then wondering why it keeps moving in. Say something truer. "I have practiced overthinking, and now I am practicing clarity. I have trained spiraling, and now I am training return." This is not fake positivity. This is authority. You are not the storm. You are the one noticing the storm. You are not every wave. You are the one learning how to stand on the shore. When a dark thought appears, do not panic just because it appeared. A thought is not a prophecy. A thought is not an order. A thought is not always truth. Sometimes it is only old smoke leaving the system. If you fear every thought, you become its servant. If you observe the thought, even for 1 second, a gap opens. There is fear, there is doubt, there is the old story again. That small distance is freedom beginning. The eye cannot be the object it sees. The witness is not the noise. And please hear this part fully. Do not try to shame yourself into peace. Many people do this without noticing. They overthink, then attack themselves for overthinking, then feel worse, then overthink more. That is mud trying to clean mud. Speak to yourself like a firm and caring teacher, not weak in a way that lets panic rule, not cruel in a way that creates new wounds. Say, "I see the fear. We will breathe. We will check the facts. We will act where action is possible. We will release what is not ours to carry tonight. That voice must grow stronger. Underneath overthinking, there is often a deeper hunger. And if you miss this, the pattern keeps changing clothes and coming back. The deeper hunger is certainty. You want guarantees before you move. You want life to sign a contract promising that you will not be embarrassed, not be rejected, not be wrong, not be hurt. But life signs no such contract. It does not promise safe outcomes before brave action. The river does not promise the stone it will never be moved. The sky does not promise the bird there will be no wind. Strength is not getting guarantees. Strength is learning to meet the unknown without leaving yourself. The need for certainty steals life quietly. It whispers, wait until you know. Wait until you feel sure. Wait until fear disappears. But many things become clear only after movement begins. The path reveals itself to moving feet, not frozen ones. Some answers cannot be thought into existence. They are hidden inside experience. You must walk to meet them. This is hard only for the part of you that thinks control is safety. But control is not always safety. Sometimes control is the cage. Trust is the open gate. So when overthinking drags you into 10 futures at once, ask a simpler question. What is being asked of me now? Not next year, not in 10 years. Now. Life comes one breath at a time. Even the heaviest day arrives in small pieces. You do not carry the whole mountain in one lift. You step on one stone, then another. The mind suffers because it tries to carry every possible stone at once. Put down the imaginary load. Pick up the real one. It is usually smaller than fear claimed. And if this is hitting something inside you, stay until the end, because the final reminder will help you use all of this in ordinary life. You must also guard what enters the mind, because a mind fed on chaos cannot easily become calm. If the first thing you do in the morning is open the door to noise, comparison, outrage, perfect images, breaking news, panic, and other people's opinions, do not be shocked when your inner room feels crowded by noon. Protect the first minutes of the day. They are soft, like wet cement. Whatever steps their first leaves marks. Before the world enters you, enter yourself. Breathe, stretch, drink water. Stand in silence for a moment. Ask, what kind of person will I practice being today? Not what disaster might happen. Not who is ahead of me. Not what I missed while sleeping. Begin with direction, not surrender. And at night, guard the gate again. The mind becomes dangerous when it is tired. A tired mind often sounds wise, but it is usually just frightened and dramatic. Do not hold court with your demons after midnight. Do not review your whole life when your body is begging for sleep. Write the thought down if you must. Tell yourself this will be handled in daylight. Many problems shrink when the sun rises. Many monsters are only shadows enlarged by exhaustion. Also, watch what you consume during the day. If you feed yourself constant conflict, gossip, fear, and endless stimulation, your nervous system learns that peace is abnormal. So choose carefully. Choose silence sometimes. Choose slower inputs. Choose conversations that leave you clearer, not more crowded. Choose spaces where your attention can breathe. This is not about becoming fragile. It is about becoming selective. Not everything deserves entry. Not every voice gets a seat. The quality of your attention shapes the quality of your life, and overthinking feeds on attention that has forgotten how to choose. There is another way to weaken the spiral, and it is one many people ignore because it sounds too ordinary. Serve something larger than your own mental weather. Overthinking grows stronger when the self becomes the center of everything. How do I look? What do they think? What if I fail? What if I lose? The mind circles the small self again and again until the circle becomes a cage. But when you help, create, build, contribute, clean, finish, support, teach, repair, encourage, the circle breaks. Attention moves outward. Energy changes shape. This does not mean ignoring your pain. It means refusing to make your pain the only altar in the room. Ask each day, who can I help? What can I build? What small order can I create from this mess? Clean one corner, finish one task, encourage one person, strengthen one skill, keep one promise to yourself. Your mind needs evidence that you are not helpless. Every completed action becomes evidence. Every promise kept becomes evidence. Every morning you rise again becomes evidence. Collect that evidence, not to worship suffering, but to remember capability. Too many people wait to feel powerful before they act. Reverse it. Act in small ways and let the evidence slowly rebuild trust. And remember this: peace does not mean a quiet life. A quiet life can still hide a noisy mind, and a difficult life can belong to someone with a steady center. Peace is not the absence of pressure, it is the right relationship with pressure. Like bamboo bending without leaving its roots, you can feel pressure without becoming its prisoner. You can think without drowning in thought. You can plan without kneeling to fear. This is training, not magic. And training works when emotion fades, when mood changes, when no one is watching. So begin with the smallest battlefield. Do not wait for a major crisis to become disciplined. Train in ordinary moments. Train when someone does not reply right away. Train when plans change. Train when you make a small mistake. Train when you feel the urge to replay a conversation 20 times. Train when you want to check again, explain again, imagine again. The strong mind is not built only in dramatic pain. It is built in